There's so much to discuss here. Let me bring in our law enforcement legal analyst, or a law enforcement analyst rather, this hour. She is a law enforcement expert. She's also a trial consultant. Sunny Slaughter on the program. Sunny, good morning to you. We talked about this. We talked about this when that suit was first filed. We were all wondering, who are these celebrities? Who is this man who's alleged to have raped this child, as Diddy is alleged to have raped this child? And who is this female celebrity who's alleged to have watched these rapes happen? What's your reaction, please, to this allegation being brought against Sean Carter and him not wanting to settle this?
Good morning, Julie. Here we go again. Here we go with this case and the unfolding of it. So when it comes to Sean Carter being named, you know, we've been hearing the rumblings and the ramblings that it could be him, that he could have something to do with this, and now the name is out. I have to agree with him. If this is a criminal case, criminal charges, let's see that happen. I am always, as a law enforcement expert, a litigation consultant, and someone that specializes in trafficking and sexual exploitation cases, concerned when we go to mediation regarding something that's criminal and not to the criminal litigation and for the investigation that is necessary in this case. Although it might be 24 years old, the allegations, we investigate cases that are 24 years old as law enforcement, and I think we need to see clear eyes and take down the temperature with the hype and get into the investigative material and start with Homeland Security Investigations, who has the expertise, who did the execution of the search warrant on Sean Puffy Combs stuff, and let's get into it that way as opposed to having mediation. These are criminal allegations, and we should not take them lightly, and particularly based on the age of the individual, and there could be others allegations.
Right, Sunny, and excellent points here, and let's keep taking it a step further. So you said this is a valid point, and I agree. I agree. I said it to my colleague, our senior producer on the show, Eric Goldson, when he said Jay-Z makes this point about, why isn't this criminal? And I said, yeah, he's right. And I looked up the law. So the New York Child Victims Act, sometimes we hear it referred to as the CVA, a wonderful piece of legislation that opens up the window of the statute of limitations, right? Statutes of limitations, you know, bar complaints that are outside of the window of time. And this extends them for child sexual abuse, and it does it in both civil court and in criminal court. And Sunny, you're familiar with this. So I'm doing the math here. This is alleged to have occurred in the year 2000. Okay, we're in 2024, and the statute of limitations is still open for a criminal case. According to what I'm seeing online, it's 28 years for felony offenses. Yep. So if this rape did occur, there's still 4 more years that this can be filed. And this is just the filing, you know, and you know that, Sunny, just got to get the filing in, and then the prosecution can commence. So I'm curious your thoughts on that, Sunny, as an investigator. There's been a personal choice by this now woman, then 13-year-old complainant, who has chosen to go the civil route with Attorney Tony Buzbee to get justice instead of going to investigators that we know of. You know, Tony Buzbee could have said something publicly in response to Jay-Z's comment that, well, she has reported it or something, but to our knowledge, there has been no report. What does that say to you when an alleged victim isn't choosing to go the criminal route?
So it could say multiple things, and one of those could be that maybe as a young person or as someone more mature, they did try that, and they had some type of negative encounter with law enforcement where they may not have been believed. Sometimes that does happen, and that could have made it impossible for this alleged victim to feel comforted by what law enforcement would and could do. However, with all of the spotlight now on the other case, now tying this into this case, they might feel like there's more leverage, and maybe they don't want to go to court and testify in a trial. However, I think it is the wrong thing to do at any place when we think that criminal charges against someone where there's an alleged victim that was a child, a minor at the time. I do not think that lawyers should take this tactic. I know they're defending their clients, but I do think that we need an investigation into this case. There is still the parents. We need to find out, where were the parents with this child? Who else did she tell? There's so many nuances that are not explained. I just don't think that we can say, okay, it's going to be a civil complaint, ignore the criminal charges. And like you said, we still have a 4-year window where charges could be filed, but we need to get to those first before we start talking about having a mediation.
Right. Excellent point, Sonny, as always. For anybody wondering who Tony Buzbee is, so Texas-based lawyer, we've got a quick clip of him. Let's take a look.
The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward.
Okay, so he is the lawyer who has filed numerous claims. He is representing numerous victims. I can't even recall the number, but I know that, Sonny, you and I don't have enough fingers and toes to count all of the alleged victims that this guy is representing. And I'm saying alleged here, too, because we don't know. Look, we'll see what happens in civil court, however these cases are decided. They're merely accusations at this point against Sean Diddy Combs and now Sean Carter. Jay-Z. Yeah. So I want to dig into that story with you, Sonny. And full disclosure for everyone at home, we at Court TV just obtained a copy of this amended complaint. So I'm reading through this now. I have my computer open and I'm looking at it. So a couple questions right away when we think, how did this child even get into this party? And so, Sonny, what's alleged here is that she has someone drop her off because she wanted to go to the VMA Awards, has a friend drop her off near Radio City Music Hall in New York City. She wants to try to get into the VMAs. She said it was a bucket list thing for her, believes she could get in. Apparently, and again, this is all according to what Tony Buzbee set forth, but says that she started talking to limousine drivers who were parked in the area. And one of them, who she spoke to, apparently said that she fit what Diddy was looking for. That he liked younger girls. And this driver allegedly said that he had to take Diddy to the after party first, but told the plaintiff, come back to this exact location right after the VMAs and I'm gonna pick you up and take you to the after party. And so that is what is alleged to have done, that this driver takes her there. She says she enters a large white residence, a gated U-shaped driveway, and claims that she might have been asked to sign a non-disclosure agreement. She's not sure, didn't get a copy of that. Sonny, I'm sure that'll become important later on as we analyze this. She says she sees many celebrities and there were waitresses circulating, carrying drinks on trays. She said she observed widespread drug use, including cocaine and marijuana use, took a drink that was reddish and yellow in color. She said it tasted like orange juice, cranberry juice, and something bitter. Says after that she felt woozy, felt the need to lie down. She looked for a place to rest, saw what appeared to be an empty bedroom, lays down on the bed. Soon after, she alleges that Diddy and Jay-Z, along with a female celebrity, enter the room. She automatically recognizes all three of them, says that one of them, Combs, said, are you ready to party? Had a crazed look in his eyes. She claims that Combs threw her toward a wall, causing her to fall. Says she got up, at which point he grabbed her, threw her again on the bed. At that point, she claims that Jay-Z removed her clothing as she grew more and more disoriented. The allegation is that Jay-Z raped her first. That is the allegation, that he vaginally raped her while Combs and this female celebrity watched. That's what's being alleged. Then the allegations go on to further state that after Jay-Z finished raping her, he stepped back toward a wall, and that Sean Diddy Combs stepped in and vaginally raped her while Jay-Z and that female celebrity watched. I'm going to stop right there because I could keep going here, but that is the gist of it, that 2 rapes took place. That is what this complaint is alleging that Diddy and Jay-Z both raped her, and that this female celebrity watched it happen. Okay, Sonny, let's start from the beginning of this story. The beginning of the story starts with a limo driver. I'm thinking about this person, this adult who transported a child to a party, allegedly. Does that sound a little bit like some sex trafficking? I don't know, but boy, if I was a federal prosecutor, I'd be paying close attention to this, wouldn't you?
The allegation, you hit it on the head. So this is transportation, and sometimes people think transportation in trafficking cases means out of the state or over state lines or something. Transportation is any mode of transportation where you are moving an underage or an individual that should not be moved to another location for sexual violence or trafficking, exploitation, any type of scheme. So first we have the limo driver, and I'm still talking about where were the parents, how did she get into this? And she never did make it into the concert that she wanted to make it in because that's not in there. So she immediately goes to this location. And then she's moving about with all of these celebrities. How is it that nobody in the room recognizes this very young? 13 is very young and very young in looking and age. We're thinking 2000. Okay, how is she there? How long is she there? And all of this activity that happens there, does she engage in alcohol and drugs? That is also another part and another point of criminal activity, serving alcohol and drugs to a minor. Another charge, allegations, once again, as we're saying this. And then how does she get to leave this location? I can't wait to look at this complaint myself and start unpacking it. But Julie, you started right where it needed to begin. These are allegations. They are very serious allegations. They are very heinous allegations, but they also need to be investigated because there are too many individuals, starting with the limo driver, starting with how she got to the location, and everyone in between that need to have the conversation, the investigation, the parents, and how she got there, how she got home, what happened, what did she say at school to her friends, counselors. Did she ever say anything to anyone else? Is there a therapist some point in time along the way? Who did she talk to? I want to know everything. I'm getting ready to get this complaint and unpack it myself too, and let's talk about it more because this is heinous. Yes. To say the least.
Yes, Sonny, agreed. These allegations are heinous. They are disgusting. They are reprehensible, and this is only a representation by one side. I can't emphasize enough how we're just being very clear in reporting this is what's being alleged. We're not a court of law, and we know it's being denied by both Diddy and Jay-Z. Both of these men have adamantly denied these claims. Sonny, you raised so many great questions. I'm reading further in this complaint about how this plaintiff, this 13-year-old child, is said to have got home. So it goes on to say that she did fight back, was able to stand up, grab her clothes and her shoes, and run out of the bedroom. So the allegation is that after she was raped by these 2 men, allegedly, that she was able to grab her things, get out and hold her dress in front of her like a towel, cover up her body to an extent by holding her dress like a towel. As it says, she ran around the residence until she found the front door. It says, although there were other guests still at the party, no one appeared to take notice of the plaintiff's distress or attempt to help her, and that she put her clothes on after she got outside and left in the pitch dark. She ran until she reached a gas station. A female clerk saw her in distress, allowed her to use the phone. She called her dad, admitted that she lied about her whereabouts, asked him to pick her up. Dad picked her up shortly before dawn, and that it says she fell into a deep depression, suffers from PTSD and a seizure disorder alleged to have been caused by stress and trauma. Difficulty with relationships, difficulty functioning in society is what's being alleged here. Sonny, you asked about the parents. You know, you said, where were the parents? And so here we have Dad potentially becoming a witness here because Dad sees her right after the fact, after this alleged trauma. What do you think about that?
The fact that there were so many people in this house, all of this went on. He has guards, you know, there would be guards, there would be limo drivers, there would be people, and she could make it out and run to the gas station. All of that is a lot. The father is absolutely a witness. And if you saw your child in that type of state, you mean to tell me you wouldn't take your child to the hospital? You wouldn't call the police? You wouldn't get more details? Where is the mother? Where are all of the other things that don't add up enough in this particular case? What is the relationship that she had with her parents? And if she calls her dad and he just comes out and does, a father that comes out and does nothing, that doesn't seek to find the answers, that is a lot to also unpack. And investigators absolutely need to talk to this witness, need to find the potential witness at the gas station. I know it's 24 years later, but she ran down the street. There were other things before she got to the gas station. What else do we know? Who else could have seen her? This is a lot, but once again, in these type of cases, let me say this, there are always a lot of allegations. They are always heinous. They are always irreprehensible, and they always need to be investigated. We need to have these allegations, as in every case, investigated, because if the limo driver said, according to the complaint, that this is the type of person Sean Diddy Combs likes, that means she is not the only one, allegedly, which means this is why this needs to be investigated. And if there are other young individuals or even older individuals, we need to have this investigated and not just fall on the allegations themselves. They are heinous, and this is what law enforcement does. No federal prosecutor wants to have this kind of information out there without a legal lens and the hands and the necessary tools that law enforcement have at their have access to investigate the case, whether it's 24 years, 30 years. We do this all the time, and I think it is a miscarriage of justice if this is not investigated before we start talking about money.
Right, Sonny. I love everything you said. I'm in complete agreement. I have so many more questions for you. I want to dig in with you on what investigators may do with this. Surely they're aware. They were aware of the existence of this complaint, you know, weeks ago whenever this was filed. I remember we talked about it in great detail, and now we have another major allegation being brought. And so we're going to talk more about, again, these allegations and Jay-Z's very strong response denying them. And again, a reminder, Sean Diddy Combs has denied these allegations as well. We'll be right back with more coverage live after this.
The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways.
How are you all feeling right now? Anything you want to say?
As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers.
He believes he's innocent. I believe he's innocent, and we're going to fight this case with all of our might until we don't have to fight anymore.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant. We're digging into some brand new information coming out pertaining to the allegations that have been brought against rapper Sean Diddy Combs. Now, in civil court, one of the complaints brought against Diddy has been amended to have another defendant on it, another very famous hip-hop mogul, Jay-Z. So now he and Diddy are both being accused of raping the same 13-year-old girl in the year 2000 after the Video Music Awards at an after party. Now, Combs already has come out and adamantly denied these allegations, and Jay-Z did very quickly as well after this was filed. He took to his X account and said, quote, "My lawyer received a blackmail attempt, called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Buzbee. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. Emphasized there, as you can see. Now, in a statement to ABC News, that lawyer, there he is, Tony Buzbee, said, quote, "The pleading speaks for itself. This is a very serious matter that will be litigated in court." Now, this is the same lawsuit that was filed back in October, accusing Diddy and another celebrity of raping 13-year-old Jane Doe. So this complaint was amended. It was amended, refiled, and Jay-Z's name was added. What still remains a mystery is the name of the third celebrity said to have been involved. The third celebrity who is said to be a female. It's all we know about her. And we can just see based on these allegations that this female celebrity stood back and watched twice. This lawsuit alleges that she stood back and watched Sean Carter rape this child, and then that she stood back and watched Sean Diddy Combs rape the same child. Again, these are allegations, have not been proven in any court of law. There aren't even criminal complaints filed, which Jay-Z has a very valid point about. And as my guest, Sonny Slaughter, and I just discussed moments ago, in New York, they could still be filed. So let's talk about the overarching criminal investigation. We know that this is happening in the federal court system where Diddy is being charged and prosecuted for alleged sex trafficking and other crimes. I want to bring back in Sonny Slaughter now. So Sonny, tell me, these investigators who are handling this federal criminal case, what do you think they're doing upon receipt of this information that we're discussing today about Sean Carter and this other unnamed female celebrity?
So one of the things that they would be doing is going back to review the evidence, if they have not already reviewed all of the tape, is to look to see at any point where was this new individual, Sean Carter, where, if any point, was he in any of the videotapes, in any of the documents, if any of the other allegations, do they have him? How many times do they have him? What years do they have him? And what locations do they potentially have him where he could be potentially compromised or connected to this current allegation that we have right now?